Hello, this is Mr. Inadequate, and I'm playing Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader. I have set up a character to start with. I'm on story mode because this is Alcat Games, and I always have a hard time with their games. Now, this is my character. He's Voidborn. He's a sanctioned psyker. Triumph was Apex of Brilliance. Darkest Hour was Grim Portents. Operative. And he is I forget what you call it. Yeah, it isn't showing it here. He's the guy with fire. Yeah, I can't for the life of me remember what it is, but he's a fire user. Okay. Hold on while I write something down here. I'll be right with you. Okay. Now we gotta file this guy. Options. Sound. There. Sorry about that. Still. Uh, yes, yes. Still getting used to this game. I played it a little bit.
One of the Fon Valencia's trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain. What's happening? Run! The servitors have gone berserk!
Okay. Now, tutorial, obviously. Okay. Now, we are going to go with Ignite.
the heretics.
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan. I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
Am I going the right way? Crap. Yes, I seem to be. I'm not very smooth at this game yet. It'll take time. Yeah, okay. Okay, this is simply irrational, Lady Theodora, says the man dressed in peculiar garb, his voice tight with tension, his face, half of which is covered by sin skin, is twisted in a grimace of displeasure and disbelief. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide, practically an admission of heresy. Theodora, the tall, gray haired woman pins him with her gaze, her cybernetic eye flashing crimson. Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation, no worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with AN6, Ethelthred? I'm going to listen in silence. While you're considering your answer, Ethelthred, I wish to speak with someone else. Perhaps I shall hear something more interesting than incoherent mumbling. Theodora nods in my direction. Approach. Ethelthred, what is this? He turns to you and regards you with indignation. Is this someone from your retinue, Theodora? Do you permit your people to interrupt your conversations in such a fashion? Theodora, I give that permission to those with something of substance to say. Let us see if it was worth it. She tilts her head, her lips stretch into a cold smile. This is Marn, the second candidate for the title of my successor. The rogue trader regards you with a look that is imperious, predatory, and oppressive. Step forward, Marn. Okay, you can read all that. Theodora, consider this hypothetical situation Iron 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, What would you do with this poisoned treasure? Now, we have two lures that succeeded. Okay. The first one, Xenos lore. These spirits could very well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if that is indeed the case and if the population of Aeon 6 engages in Xeno worship. Two, Lore warp succeeded. There are ways to confirm whether what is happening on Aeon 6 is witchcraft or not. It might cost several psychers to do so, but it will give us the answer. 3. I believe I could use my personal abilities to ascertain whether there was sorcery on Ion 6, but it would require going down to the surface. 4. These reports of spirits certainly sound like evidence of heresy. However, I would put my interests first. No matter what means I would have to use, the riches of Ion 6 would be mine. 5. Ion Iron 6 must be purged for the good of the Imperium. I shall exterminate the heretical beliefs and other worldly powers that rule the native apostates. I do not know is number 6. I'm going to say 4. Theodora smiles ever so slightly. Yes, now I see the blood of the dynasty is in your veins. Greed disguised as pride and vanity. What say you that? What say you to that, Ethelthred? There is an answer that's quite different from yours, isn't it? Ethelred pales. Perhaps I've not yet acquainted myself with all the intricacies of serving on the frontier, but my loyalty to the God Emperor forbids even a shadow of such thoughts. Heresy, whatever form it might take, must be exterminated, and there can be no place for base ambitions. I know his tenets well, unlike our new acquaintance. So now I have what? Four. I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which is I understand it was still more than you could do, Ethelthred. 2. We are both servants of the God Emperor and Lady Theodora. Does it become anyone of our status to engage in petty feuds? 3. I find your tone most disagreeable, Ethelthred. You will kindly alter the manner in which you address me, or else you will live to regret the consequences. Are for shut your mouth, Ethelred, before I decide to shut it for you. I'm going to go with 2 on this one. He, Ethelthred looks at me with suspicion. Even among his flock, now a peace, Marn. I suggest you familiarize yourself with that fact before you are sorely, Theodora. Ethelthred. Her tone renders him silent. I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me, then, why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview. Ethelthred, I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time. He bows ceremoniously and takes his leave without sparing me another look. Now, Theodora's gaze follows Ethelthred as he leaves, then she turns to you. So, Marn, why are you here? I'm going to go with this one. Theodora scoffs. You ceded the opening that was offered to you in a woeful display of meekness. Admittedly, this tendency is equally strong in all in toil in the emperor's service. Immutable hierarchy, absolute obedience, lickspittlary, compulsion to please. I value none of these things. From the moment my envoys came for you, the term of your existence changed. My name is Theodora von Valentius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity, and my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic, the warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness beyond the Imperium and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign and bode death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you, Marn, are one of those with the von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes. Oh, yes, you would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I have doubts that you are suitable for the role of rogue trader. Blood right is, alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful, if not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. She sighs and looks away pensively for a brief moment. Alas, even those responsibilities at times can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Conrad Voigtver served me for many years before he made his mistake. Okay. The box affixed to Theodore's attire suddenly comes to life, but all you can hear is unintelligible noise. Theodore winces, shuts off the transmission, and gives you an imperious nod. I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge. Okay, we're going to go 2. Theodore, is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Geller field. Or perhaps there's something to all those stories about the ship being possessed after all. She laughs nonchalantly. Abelard, the gray-haired officer, gives the rogue trader a look of cautious disapproval. Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff. Theodora, enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Dara eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisers. She turns to me. This ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nukes, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folk speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live. Okay, we're going to go with 3. Theodora, your responsibilities. Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Ethelthred. And until that time comes, consider yourself my aide. How about, I have no more questions. In that case, I shall head to. Her vox wakens once more. This time you pick up shouting. The Lord Captain Freeze is listening to the Voxcast, then nods and draws her weapon. Disturbances reported on the ancient deck. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. She glances at me. It's possible the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you have anticipated. Okay. Combat! Okay. Hello? There we go. This is me, isn't it? Oh, start the battle.
I took care of this one. For the glory of the Imperium! I've suffered worse.
Oh, okay. Well, let's kill the guy who shot me. That isn't what I wanted to use. Maybe. Okay.
Just a minor setback. One fewer target. I took care of this one. I've suffered worse.
Oops. Okay. I gotta take a drink. Hold on while I drink. I'm probably gonna make this a short video for a number of reasons. I will get longer as we go along. But let's see. Theodora. Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single horseman survive. She turns her eyes to me. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst on the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel. She looks at the box in her hand. All you can hear is lifeless static. 2. What are your orders? She breaks eye contact with you. Mort has gone ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the arch militant requires aid, and be quick about it. Where am I? We're going to pause here. Where'd Mort go? This way. So we're going to go here. Now, I am going to leave it here. It has probably been about 23 minutes. So that's a good first opening. We will continue with this in the next episode. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll be doing this every other video with Distant Worlds 2. Each video will come out 5 days after its predecessor, so it'll be like 2 or 3 days between. And I will see you in the next one.